Professor Saugata Roy.
Sir, I rise to speak on the finance bill. This was part of the budget which was presented by the finance minister on 1st February. It's 1.5 months since then. Let us see what the budget means, what it is for. May I say basically that this budget is part of Atal Tinkering Lab. The finance minister has tinkered with budgetary movements, and I'll give you examples as to what she has actually done. There are no serious changes in tax structure, only tinkering. Some IT returns, timelines pushed, forms simplified, change in forms, and then tax penalties. Prosecution rules have been eased. Again, the foreign firms sourcing services from Indian entities to get 15% safe harbor margin of cost, among other benefits. Sir, capital gains tax, exemption on sovereign gold bonds only when held from issuance to maturity. You will notice these are small tinkerings. And also, if I say buybacks, to be taxed as capital gains. Retail investors may benefit a little. One-time disclosure tax scheme for NRIs. And the main thing is government's tax gift, that is the gift city, they are getting advantage year after year because gift city is placed in Ahmedabad. They are getting advantages. Sir, government is a good proposal, one among many, proposes to exempt award given by motor accident claims tribunal from income tax. Good step. Sir, there is a strange thing. The Prime Minister wants destination marriages to be held within India. But the finance minister, she proposes to reduce TCS rates on the sale of overseas tour program package from current 5% and 20% to 2%. That is, the Prime Minister wants marriages to be held in India. The finance minister is giving tax benefits to marriages held outside India. I don't know why this difference is there. Sir, gross tax revenue to GDP ratio for FY27 lowest in 6 years. It's a good thing. Sir, the income tax department is saying that there will be new income tax law effective from April 1. He went to a parliamentary standing committee, and again decriminalization and compliance, corruption. Central Board of Direct Taxes say that will decriminalize. Earlier they used to put everybody in jail, now they are saying that we are going for decriminalization. To whom? To the corporates. They will have a better. Sir, one person has said, one economist has said the budget has delivered a googly, the retrospective tax. Now, besides being greedy and unfair, retrospective taxes should be illegal. Nothing is gained and much is lost in terms of investor confidence via this new tax. This will net only about 200 crores a year. There will be a new tax on capital gains made by the purchase of sovereign gold bonds. So retrospective effect, as they say, is criminal. Now the main thing is, in our country, taxes are like this: 1/3 personal income tax, 1/3 corporate tax, and 1/3 GST collections. Now let us see how we have done with regard to this. The inequality in the country is emphasized and raises question about financial health of India's corporate sector. One catch is that agriculture is still exempt from taxation. So half of Indians do not contribute anything to national overheads. Having said that, let me look at, sir, what the condition of the economy is. Rupee dollar is 93 rupees per dollar. You know the condition of petroleum. The Prime Minister gave a long statement on how much petroleum reserves we have got, that nothing to worry. Every day, the possibility of energy prices rising is hanging on the people. Now, having said that, let me put it this way. What are the main criticisms of this tax? The bill focuses mainly on incremental or micro reforms rather than bold transformative changes. It is a continuity-based approach without significant policy innovation. Tinkering, as I said. Unlike previous years, there is no major tax relief or incentives for the middle class. No relief. This has led to concerns about reduced disposable income and consumption demand. Fiscal emphasis on fiscal consolidation may restrict government spending on welfare and social sectors. It is happening. On education, on health, expenditure is going down. Critics argue that balancing deficit reduction with a growth remains challenging. The states have raised concern about limited tax devolution and increased reliance on cesses and surcharges, which are not shared. The main thing, government imposes cesses and surcharges, which are not a part of the divisible pool. This strains cooperative federalism and state finances. Sir, there is uncertainty in tax administration. Provisions related to reassessment and updated returns lack clear timelines, leading to discretionary power for tax officers. This can create uncertainty. Critics note that bill does not adequately address external risks, unemployment, and sectoral distress. That's why there is opposition to this tax. One major objection is the absence of significant tax relief for the middle class. Another is bill's overemphasis on fiscal consolidation, growing use of cesses and surcharge, limited structural reforms, and tax administration provisions are very lax. So this bill, which operationalizes the fiscal proposals, has spread over widespread criticism for opposition parties, etc. You know, the share market fell drastically on 1st February when the finance minister presented her 9th budget. The bill emphasizes fiscal discipline. One of the foremost objections is that it fails to adequately address the pressing economic challenges facing the country. Issues such as unemployment, rural distress, sluggish consumption demand, have not been sufficiently tackled. The focus on macroeconomic stability and long-term capital expenditure is seen as coming at the cost of immediate relief measures. Many economists believe that without boosting consumption, especially in rural and lower-income segments, economic growth may remain uneven and fragile. Another significant criticism relates to the perceived lack of relief for the middle class. Despite expectations of tax concession, bill provides limited direct relief to salaried individuals. Instead, certain measures such as the increased security transaction tax on derivatives are viewed as participation in capital markets and reduce disposable income, thereby impacting consumption. There is a higher compliance burden on taxpayers. Provisions relating to reassessment, updated returns, and disclosure requirements have raised apprehensions about increased scrutiny and administrative complexity. Industry bodies have pointed out the absence of clear timelines and safeguards. This may grant excessive discretionary power to tax authorities, potentially leading to harassment and litigation. Such concerns are particularly relevant for small and medium enterprises which may lack the resources to deal with complex compliance requirements. Federal concerns form another area of objection. State governments have expressed dissatisfaction over continued reliance on cesses and surcharge, which are not shared under divisible pool of taxes. State share in central taxes remains unchanged. The growing proportion of non-shareable revenues effectively reduces their fiscal pace. This has led to strain on states, especially those with weaker revenue bases. How many times do I have to repeat in this House that this government, central government, is depriving West Bengal, depriving it of its dues under the 100 days work or the Prime Minister's Abbas Yojana. We have been deprived. The finance minister will snap back at me, saying we have given this nothing. You have totally deprived West Bengal. Total dues amount to 2 lakh crores, and we shall continue protesting, and we shall show in the elections that people in West Bengal also resent the same. Sir, it has been mentioned that the bill allegedly favors large corporations and high-income groups. One of the major steps taken by the finance minister was giving huge concessions in corporate taxes. She said that that was the way to really improve demand in this country. But all benefits are going to corporate houses. Corporates will not develop India unless the government steps in a big way. Tax incentives, ease of doing business measures, and investment-friendly provisions are seen as disproportionately benefiting big businesses and foreign investors. And if I may mention that this ease of doing business is bogus. Even the World Bank has jettisoned this ease of doing business calculation. It is no longer used. Only the government of India uses ease of doing business. Sir, such policies may exacerbate income inequality and contribute to a concentration of wealth. The absence of strong redistributive measures, such as enhanced social spending or targeted subsidies, has reinforced the perception of inequitable fiscal strategy. So the minister's finance bill is essentially an inequitable fiscal strategy. The limited emphasis on welfare expenditure is a point of contention. The allocations for sectors like health, education, and social protection have not kept pace with rising needs in a developing country with significant socio-economic disparities. The fiscal policy should prioritize human development alongside economic growth. We are falling in the world human development indices, and still the minister has no attention. The bill's focus on capital expenditure, that is another formula that government uses, that we are increasing capital expenditure. Only by increasing capital expenditure, without distributive justice, is unfair. Capital expenditure is a huge project. It takes 10 years to be completed. That will not improve the financial health of the country. So, capital expenditure, while important for infrastructural development, is insufficient to address immediate social challenges. The incremental nature of reforms proposed in the bill is not acceptable. While continuity and stability are important, many experts feel that the bill lacks bold structural reforms needed to transform the economy. Areas such as labour market reforms, agricultural modernization, and judicial efficiency require more decisive action. Absence of such reforms has led to criticism that the bill is cautious rather than visionary. There are also concerns regarding the impact of certain tax measures on specific sectors. For instance, higher transaction taxes and tighter compliance norms may adversely affect the financial markets and the fintech ecosystem. Similarly, changes in customs duties and indirect taxes could have implications for manufacturing competitiveness and import costs. Industry stakeholders have urged the government to ensure that tax policies do not inadvertently hinder innovation and growth. Transparency and predictability in tax policy have also been questioned. Frequent changes in tax provision and introduction of new compliance requirements can create uncertainty for business provision, and introduction of new compliance requirements can create uncertainty for business investors. A stable and predictable tax regime is essential for long-term planning and investment decisions. Therefore, this finance bill does not fully meet this expectation. The bill has limited focus on employment generation. While infrastructure investment can create jobs in the long run, very long run, there is a need for targeted measures to address immediate employment concerns, particularly among youth. Absence of specific incentives for labor-intensive sectors has been viewed as a missed opportunity. Look at West Bengal. The state government is giving 1,500 rupees to all the youth as unemployed allowance. You do not announce even one concession for unemployed people. I will request you to study the Lokhir Bhandar in West Bengal, where all women are getting 1,500 rupees. You give nothing, being a woman yourself. In conclusion,
kindly address
the objections to the finance bill, Sir, I'll end. In conclusion, the objections to the finance bill revolve around concerns of inclusiveness, equity and effectiveness. The bill aims to maintain fiscal prudence and promote investment. It falls short in addressing the needs of the middle class, supporting vulnerable populations and ensuring balanced regional development. The challenge lies in striking a balance between growth, stability and social justice, ensuring that economic progress is both sustainable and inclusive. Sir, since this is a finance bill, government has to raise money anyway. We have not given amendments. But I say that the finance minister has failed us, disappointed us in being blind to the real problems facing the country. Thank you. With that, I end my speech.